Los 100 años de Lenni y Margot de Marianne Cronin es el debut más conmovedor y luminoso del 2021. Llamada a ser la gran historia de amistad del año, la novela se va a publicar en 23 países y cautiva por sus inolvidables protagonistas. La joven Lenni y la anciana Margot suman juntas 100 años y su vitalidad y humor sirven de canto a la vida mientras regalan a los lectores un homenaje al arte de contar historias.
There were quite a few things that inspired me to write the book. The first of those was a trip to hospital that I had myself, and while I was there I kind of really paid attention to the nurses, the doctors, the sort of rhythms of the hospital. And then I'd seen a documentary about art therapy in hospitals, and I thought to myself this would be a really interesting place to set the story, because in hospitals you have people who are, you know, from very young ages to very old ages, and also people dealing with everything from a broken leg all the way up to terminal illness, like Lenni and Margot are. And I think it's kind of this melting pot of different characters and different situations in life, and so I think it's a really interesting place to set a story. So I was doing my master's degree and I was supposed to be working on quite a boring essay, and it just felt like Lenni came to visit me in my head, which sounds a little bit spooky, but it really did. I could just kind of hear this voice. And so the first thing I wrote was actually the very first page of the book as it is now. And since my friends and family have started to read the book now, quite a few of them have said that there are aspects of Lenni's voice that remind them of me, and so I think there are little bits of me in Lenni. And then Margot kind of developed as the opposite to Lenni. So while Lenni's kind of chaotic and quite outspoken, Margot is a lot more calm, a little bit more measured. And I really wanted them as characters to sort of balance each other out, and so that's what I hope to have achieved with the two characters. Absolutely, I love the idea of a cross-generational relationship, and I think they have so much to offer. I think Lenni and Margot have a lot to offer each other, so it's not just that Lenni learns from Margot, but Margot also learns from Lenni. And I think the thing that appeals to me the most about these kinds of friendships is the ability to share stories and to share perspectives. And so that's why Lenni's life takes this turn when she meets Margot, because her life is suddenly so enriched by these really vivid stories that Margot is telling her. So I am a terrible painter and a terrible drawer, and my art teachers at school would definitely agree with that. However, I still really enjoy doing art. I think it can be really calming, and just because I'm not very good at it doesn't mean that I can't give it a go once in a while. So I'll draw and I'll paint, usually with acrylic paints, and I find it so soothing. And I think, you know, as a therapeutic tool, art can be really important. It allows people to express themselves, and it allows people to express themselves without using words, which can sometimes be a little bit easier. And so that's why I wanted that as the way in, that Lenni and Margot start to tell their stories because they've begun to create them in a visual art form. Yeah, one of the really lovely surprises of having people start to read the book has been this response that there's, you know, parts of the book that make them laugh out loud and that are funny. And I certainly didn't sort of sit down and intend to write something that was funny and sad at the same time, but I'm really happy that people are having that response because I think it gives the book more of a balance. Yeah, and I think there are just times when I was writing when, you know, if Lenni was speaking to the hospital chaplain, Father Arthur, they'd have this kind of back and forth, this kind of banter, and it would make me smile, and so it's lovely to hear that it's making other people smile as well.